Welcome to Monday morning business talk with Barb, and I'm Barb Stillemer, the owner of Blitz Business Success, the CEO Elite, and I am a master business strategist and an owner and a founder. So I basically spent all my time thinking about business, and not because I have to, but because I'm really interested in how business affects our economy, how it affects our families and our communities, and how it can actually create more jobs and a better lifestyle for many people, not just the person who starts the business. So it's one of the reasons why I wrote the book that I did. I read from it a few times. You guys have seen it, The Entrepreneur Awakening, Making the Move from Employee to Business Owner. And today I thought I would talk about how I set this book up. I set it up because I believe that there's kind of three stages that we go through to get to the place where we feel like an entrepreneur. And for some people, the word entrepreneur feels like it's a little hoity-toity, maybe a little over the top, and people are being a little arrogant thinking of using that word. I just think of it as an entrepreneur actually getting to the place where they're living the business that they own, and it's integrated in balance with the rest of their lives. So the three steps is what I kind of called it on this Facebook Live this morning, but in the book, it's kind of the three sections that I divided the book into. The first is to learn it, then to implement it, and then to live it. So I give a whole bunch of different ideas of how you could do all or any of those parts. But what I wanted to talk about today was specifically about the learn it. And I put some very specific components into this book around how to live or how to learn the things that are important in your business. And one of them was, kind of the basics that you need to have. So in the basics, I talk about a variety of different things: a niched target market, a brand specific business name, a website, a domain you own, and an email address that's connected to that domain. And I'll talk further to that in a minute. A logo, font, and color that represents your brand. So you have a brand image. A business bank account, not a personal bank account, a business phone, a product or service to sell, and a plan. So in those, there's three things that I just kind of want to point out. One is that in one of the statistics that I quote in when I'm teaching at the college for Interest in Entrepreneurship, and I have the link, but I can't remember who it's from. I think it's Industry Canada. That one of the reasons that the most often that small businesses fail is incompetency. And the incompetence comes from the number one reason is not having a plan. So you don't have to have a 30 or 60 page business plan that you need to take to the bank. You just need to have a one-page plan that shows how you plan on making money, what you plan on selling, how you plan on running your business, and who's going to be in your business and what skills they have. So there is something called a business canvas, which Rebecca Palmer introduced me to at one point in time recently, and which is completely okay to use for creating a plan for your business. But no plan is the first way that you can end up not succeeding in your business. The other two things that I want to talk about is your business email and your business phone. So these seem fairly simplistic because anyone can get an email through Google, and most people have their own phone. And welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me. So with the email, if you own your domain, so let's say you have your domain and it's yourdomainname.com, but your email is yourdomainname.com@gmail.com. That doesn't make sense to me, because if you have someone hosting your domain somewhere, oftentimes you get one free email address. And if you can't use that free email address because it's not free, then put the $5 a year in to actually be able to use your email. You should have an email at your name or info or contact or hello@yourdomainname.com. That's what you want, not a Gmail one, because a Gmail one, it really just says that you're only in it for the short term, that you're really not interested in investing in the business, that you may or may not be in a business in a week, in a month, in a year. So if you're going to buy the domain, buy the email that goes with it, and it's not that much more per year to have that. The second is I wanted to talk about having a phone. So a lot of people use their own phones. So one of the things I used to recommend, and a lot of people don't have landlines anymore, but if you have a landline, please make sure that your family knows, if you're using your personal one, that they have to now answer as if it's a business. Because one of the stories that I tell in the book is about a hairstylist that I had. And I think I've told you guys this story before. A hairstylist that I had, I really liked her. People loved the hair that she was giving me. And so I gave referrals to her. And a friend of mine called her and her husband answered. And he didn't, she wasn't even sure. My friend said, I thought I was calling a hair studio. And he goes, she's at the hospital working right now. And she goes, okay. And he goes, you'll have to call back later. Click, and hung up on her. So if you can't have a separate phone line, if you have a landline and you don't have a cell phone, then get the landline to put in a separate ring so that your family at least does not answer the phone when it rings differently, and you don't have to worry about training them on how to answer the phone, so that you have a brand specific image that you're putting out every time. If you can, it would be best to have a separate line for your phone. So the best way to do that, and the investment, would be to have a cell phone that's connected to you and to your business, so that your voicemail always sounds like your voice of your brand, and that when you answer it, it's actually you who's connected to the people and not other people who are not connected to your business. All right, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, the learn it, but there's a lot of other things that you have to learn to get into business. That's the piece that most people are focused on when they get into business. What do I have to do? How do I get started? Where do I get my business name? How do I get my HST? Do I need to take in taxes, or do I have to charge taxes? Am I big enough? Do I have to have a bookkeeper? So all the questions you have about how to run your business are the learn it components of getting to the place where you feel like an entrepreneur. And this is often where people stop. They stop at learning how to run their business, but not how to actually implement that next phase. How do you implement the ownership of a business? How do you start feeling like an entrepreneur? So I think we'll talk about that another day. I think just today we'll talk about the learning it. If you have any questions about what it is that you need to do to get a business running, or what components are the implementation or anything, please do put them in the comments below. If there's something that you learned about running a business that you want to share with others, also put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and if you need me to help look at your business strategies, you're welcome to reach out to me. We have a strategy day in April for those of you who are interested in actually focusing on your business with an advisory board. I have 2 spots left in that. Plus, we'll have an open work day, which is just an opportunity for you to work away from your business. So a work away day coming up in April as well. Reach out to me if you are interested in either of those and you're local to the Toronto area. Otherwise, reach out to me for an online consultant. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.